welcome to the channel. This is Nikki D, and you found Five Dog Farm. If you're a regular subscriber, thank you so much. I really appreciate you watching. Today, I wanted to bring you another dog treat. As you know, we are Five Dog Farm, but we really have many more dogs than that. And this year, I thought I'd go ahead and cover a little bit of information about all of our dogs. So upcoming videos will be showcasing each dog. We have their name and a little bit about them. Keeping them fed and happy is a trick since we have over 10. And so one of the things I like to do is make dog treats. I will post down below some of the other dog treats that I've already made, like dehydrated sweet potatoes. It's a great chew for your dog, very healthy, and could not be easier to make. But there are those times when I like to make dog treats that are really a treat, something special, and also I like to give them as gifts, as I did for Christmas last year. This could not be easier. It's made with a lot of healthy ingredients, and I'm thinking we'll just jump right into it so you can see what's going on. If you jump over to the blog, I will have the whole recipe there where you can print it out and pop it into your files wherever you keep your recipes at, and that would be www.5dog.farm, and the link will be down below. All right, let's get to making some dog treats. So this is a basic recipe that I've made for quite some time, and you would want to use whole wheat flour for your pups. Don't use all-purpose, you want to use whole wheat. If for some reason your dog has an allergy to whole wheat, you can substitute rice, you can substitute coconut flour. The consistency will be a little bit. I have not used those flours. Our dogs don't have a problem with whole wheat, so I use the whole wheat flour. Also, you're going to be wanting to use peanut butter. I used creamy. You could use crunchy. Be absolutely sure you check your label. There are some peanut butters that use a sweetener called xylitol. I believe it's spelled Xylitol. No bueno for your pups. Do not use it. Actually, it's not good for you either. Just don't use it at all. But if you have it and you're using it, do not give it to your dogs. So you're going to want to use a cup of that. If I didn't mention it, 2.5 cups of the whole wheat flour. You're going to be using some baking powder. That will be 1 teaspoon. 2 tablespoons of honey. Here I have organic honey. A farm fresh egg or an egg. I like to have my egg match my props because we have different color eggs. Any color egg will do. This is from our olive eggers. And a cup of water. And that's it. So what you're going to want to do is take your flour. I already have 2 cups in here. I'm putting my last half a cup. Put your 1 teaspoon of baking powder in, not baking soda, baking powder. Crack open that farm fresh egg. Pop that baby in there. You're going to want to put your 1 cup of water. And you're going to give that a mix. I'm just going to go ahead and use my peanut butter spoon because it's all going to come together at some point anyway. Now, we've had dogs for years, as most people grew up with dogs. We have started out with 5, and the brood has grown. I usually have a hard time turning down a rescue, and that's kind of how we ended up with most of our dogs. One reason or another, we ended up adopting dogs. Our last group, however, came from a couple of dogs we had that we had rescued that were in separate kennels, but somehow managed to get together, if you know what I mean. And out of that, we got 9 dogs, which are all being fixed, and never having that happen again. But we decided that was our fault, and we're just going to keep all of them and not try to adopt out the dogs. We will just make them all working dogs, and they are. Between the sheep and the garden, we are going to have all of the large dogs working. The small dogs don't have to shake in their little boots because they're little cuties that stay in the house. All right, so you saw how quick that was. Super easy to go ahead and mix that together. So again, that was the flour, the baking powder, the egg, and the water. And now I'm just going to put in the 1 cup of peanut butter. Putting that right in. It's sort of a thick recipe, so you got to get your mixing arms on. You could use a KitchenAid. that's not a problem. Just put on the paddle and whip it up in the KitchenAid, but not a big deal for me. I got farm arms. I tell you, working on the farm keeps you going. All right, so that goes in, and let's pop in the 2 tablespoons of honey as well. You'll want to set your oven at 350 degrees. And I like to use a cookie sheet with parchment paper when I cook, because I just think I like quick cleanup. We lived here on the farm, for those of you that don't know. This year will be coming on our 4th year. The first 3 years we had no water. We had every intention of having water, but turns out the water that we do have underground is horrible. And in order to filter it would have cost tens of thousands of dollars. So we ended up going with county water, which we really didn't want to do, but it is what it is. And so we now have water on the farm, and that is quite the luxury, let me tell you. We are still going to be doing rain catchment because it's how I wanted to roll in the first place. But you know, we have the whole family here, and sometimes you just make concessions. And my mom's in her 80s, Gigi's in her 80s, and you know, she pushed along with the old jug method that we did for 3 years. She was such a trooper, and I'm glad she can have that luxury now of water actually coming out of her faucet. So, all right, so there we go, mixed up. Could not be easier. You're going to want to take a little bit of that whole wheat flour and put it here in your, let me get this out of the way. Here in the area where you're going to roll it out, roll it to about a 1/2 inch thick. And I'm a hands-in person, so I'm going to shove my hands in there in just a second, but I just wanted to show you, you can use any kind of cookie cutter, plain round cutter. I have a girlfriend that sent me this rooster, which I think is hilarious. I've got dog paws, I've got bones, which is usually my standard go-to, are the bones. This is how they came out, just so you can see, and on the blog you'll see some close-up pictures of these and of Ruger enjoying his. But you'll see some colors on here, and that's because for the holidays and for gifting, I just used some white chocolate candy wafers and put it in a double boiler, melted it, and just drizzled it over them because these were an extra special treat. This batch is just going to be a usual treat, nothing extra fancy, and so these will not get a drizzle of anything. These will just be straight up treats. All right, so we'll get this out of here. Gosh, it smells good. You know, it's funny, I'm not a real big peanut butter eater, but I do like the smell. All right, so we're just gonna give this a little mash together to make sure. It's not terribly sticky. It's really simple. It's almost like working with Play-Doh. If I had to give you an idea of the texture, it's almost like working with Play-Doh. So here we go. I'm going to get this rolled out. Now, in my farmhouse, in a storage box somewhere, I have the coolest rolling pin. It comes with these little attachments that go on each side of the handle, and they're different bands and they're different thicknesses, and they let you get the exact thickness you want. I've used that for so many years. I'm sort of spoiled with that, so when I roll things out, I kind of have a hard time without them. I really like those little bands, but that's okay. It's dog treats. If they complain, they just don't have to have another one now, do they? So you can see how easy this is to roll out. It's very, very simple. You're gonna make some dog in your life very happy, and an owner probably really happy too that they got something handmade and healthy for their pup. Dog treats anymore are crazy priced. It's ridiculous. So here's my dog bone that I always go for. There we go. Just start cutting them out, laying them on, I use parchment paper to lay out on top of the cookie sheet. Again, just keep it cleaner. Let's do a rooster. We'll do a dog paw. All right, so you get the idea. Relatively simple to do all of these little shapes and things like that. Once they're baked, about 20 minutes in that 350-degree oven. Then you take them out just like you would with cookies and put them on a wire rack to cool. And then this year I gifted both the girls little treat jars. So what I did was I gave them the treat jars, and then I took the treats and I put them in little bags like this, and I filled the treat jar with the little bags. And that was the Christmas gift from our dogs to their dogs this year, which I think they really, really enjoyed. So that's it. That is a simple way to make some homemade dog treats for your dogs. If you make this recipe, I'd love to hear what you did, if you changed it up a little bit. Don't forget, really important, that xylitol. Make sure it is not in your peanut butter. Again, thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. I hope your dogs enjoy this. I know ours do. This is Nikki D from 5 Dog Farm, and I'll talk to you soon.